Well, hello. Thank you for downloading this short presentation about digital assets in your estate. And this is basically to explain the new service that we're adding this year in 2017. Estate planning for your digital assets has been something that a lot of lawyers and a lot of clients haven't really paid a lot of attention to before. It includes your email, your Facebook account, your Twitter account, information about your bank accounts online. Anywhere you log in online would be considered a digital asset. Now, there are federal laws about obtaining stored information that are digital assets. And stored information is any information that would be, for example, on Facebook or any information in the online access to your bank account. It is unlawful to intentionally and in an unauthorized way get access to the facilities providing electronic communication devices. It's also illegal to exceed your authority that you may have to have access to these facilities. In other words, it's illegal to log on to someone else's account at the bank or onto someone's Facebook account or Twitter account unless you have authorization to do so. And it's also illegal to gain information from those facilities. So these assets are becoming a critical type of asset because most of us are storing a lot of information about ourselves, a lot of financial information about ourselves, and in fact, access to our money online. A lot of banks, for example, are pressuring everybody to get away from paper so you don't get paper statements anymore. And typically, we've been ignoring all of this information as an asset that is part of the work that we should be doing in terms of funding for estate planning. And if something happens to you, you become disabled or you die, that can be a major hassle for your family and your successor trustees, and it threatens the smooth settlement goal that we have. We all want to make sure that things go smoothly for the folks we leave behind. Now, what happens is that these digital assets, your Facebook account, your Twitter account, all of that, what happens to that account after you die is subject to the terms of the agreement that you sign when you start the account, and that agreement gets continually updated. And it can be 25 to 30 pages single-spaced, and how many of us really read those? So a lot of these agreements are very different from provider to provider, and that's a problem. So there has been a Uniform Act that has been created by the National Uniform Acts Commission, and that act is making the rounds, but it hasn't been enacted by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts yet. And it probably hasn't been enacted in a lot of other states as well. And the Uniform Act controls who has access, provides that people will have access in the event of a state settlement. And it allows directive communications, in other words, communications directing these facilities to give access. But at that time, when someone dies, you have to convince the custodian of the information or the facility provider like Facebook, et cetera, or your email account like Gmail. You have to convince them to honor your directive. So, you can write a directive, but your trustee can present it and they may or may not recognize it. So here's where our new resource partner, Directive Communications Systems, comes in. So what they do is they make arrangements with all of these providers, the banks, Facebook, Twitter, all of these different providers, that their directive communications that they receive from DCS will be recognized. And so what DCS does is it gathers the information about how you want your accounts to be dealt with if something happens to you. And you can put that information into your account online at DCS. And they will offer you options that the particular providers allow you to have. So you can select from the options that the particular providers have told DCS that they will allow. So what happens, usually there are three major options. You can direct them to close the account, you can direct them to give access to the account to successive trustees or anybody that you designate, and you can direct them to transfer the account to another person. Those are the three major options. There are some other more complicated ones, but those are the three major options. So understand that DCS, when they gather this information about your accounts, they receive no passwords, so they cannot log into your accounts by using information in their systems. They do get your login information and the URLs that you're logging into, but they get no passwords, so they can't in fact log into anybody's account. And also, and we have talked about this at the annual client meeting, they're expanding their service for us so that we can upload your documents, your financial information, et cetera, and store them in your account on DCS so that you can access them sort of like your Blue Book, but you won't need your Blue Book anymore. They won't have access to that information either. They've done that by choice. They have made it so that it is the access to the account and the content are stored in completely different places, and they have put up a wall between themselves and any content that we or you put into your account that's on their service. And everybody worries about online encryption. Well, DCS has adopted a military grade encryption. They're still working on even higher grades of encryption, and as soon as they find any higher grade, they're installing it so that they are as safe as any bank, if not more safe than the banks, because military grade is safer, as I understand it, for banks. So they're doing everything they can to make sure that everything is encrypted and nobody has access to your account except you by logging in. So there are three ways to get your information to the account. You can, once you have your account, you can log into your account at DCS and manually enter information into the DCS website, into the various different screens. You can do it by portfolio link. In other words, you can put all the information into a spreadsheet or a Word document for DCS to enter, and you can send that to them, and they'll put it in for you, or you can upload it. There's an upload facility. And you can also use a browser tool that they will provide you, and you can download, and it'll add the tool to your browser. So every time you log into a new place, it'll ask you, do you want to save this to DCS? Which I think is probably the most convenient. But if you authorize us to do so, we will get you started by uploading the name of your first designated representative, the person that you want to have access to the account first, and your email and their email and some other information. We'll upload that for you so that DCS will open your account. And then they will notify you that your account is ready by sending you an email and telling you what to do to get access to it. So the DCS service is included in your 2017 annual maintenance program at no additional fee. And next year, for new people coming into the system, there will be an additional fee because for our existing clients, they waived the registration fee of $100. So it's just the initial account fee that we're paying as part of your annual maintenance program. But after we've put in all of our existing clients, anybody new is going to end up having to pay that additional registration fee of $100, and then it is $35 per year for the right to use the system. We plan to include that $35 fee in the annual maintenance fee for everybody who becomes part of the maintenance program. And what'll happen is that having all of that information and having it available to your successor trustees will really assist estate settlement in a growing number of ways. And so one, for example, is that we'll be able to use it as a client portal so that you'll be able to access your asset review reports that we provide for you. You'll be able to access documents, for example, copies of PDFs of your trusts and all the other estate planning documents, and your estate planning review worksheets, which are specifically designed for you and have to go into your blue books, especially for you every year. So what this is going to allow us to do is essentially eliminate the blue books, because you'll be able to get access to all of the general information from our website, and we may be just uploading that to your account anyway. And you'll also be able to access the information that's specific to you, like your asset review reports and your estate planning review worksheets, from this portal. So what to do? On the website with this video, with the link to this video, is an enrollment authorization, and part of that is a trust protector memo allowing the trust protector to change the language in your trust to include the language that's necessary to allow your trustees to put it into your trust and other documents so that your trustees have access. And that's going to be added to your documents at your next client update program when you come in to update. You can opt out, but please understand that you're still going to pay the same annual fee. That's not going to change. Your successor trustees are going to end up with a much more hassle. And as a policy matter, we've decided that we're going to have to increase your settlement fee, notwithstanding that that cap that's in your agreement. We're going to have to increase your settlement fee by $1,000 in order to accommodate all the extra work that's going to be involved in getting a court order to require the custodians to recognize the instructions of the trustees and all of that. That's going to be a problem. So please don't opt out. We don't recommend that you do so, but you, of course, have the option to do so. And that opt-out sheet will also be attached with the video on the hdlawgroup.com website that you can log into. So, how to get started: download, sign, and send the authorization to enroll in DCS to us. Download that from the website, hdlawgroup.com, or download, sign, and send the opt-out form from the website as well. And here's the website, www.hdlawgroup.com. It's actually https://hdlawgroup.com. It's a secure website. But you can get to it by going to www.hdlawgroup.com. The username that you will use when you come to that screen will be step 2, and there's a space between the P and the 2. And the password, of course, is member with member pre-capped. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you've got. And if you've got questions that I can't answer, I'll check with DCS and find out. So you can either call me or you can send me an email. I'm very happy to answer any questions you may have about DCS. But I urge you to adopt it. And thank you very much for listening to this video.